Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is your home for deep dives into the spine-chilling worlds of survival horror games and their unforgettable kills. And today, we're venturing into the haunted corridors of the Silent Hill that never was, P.T. If you thought Outlast 2 was terrifying, with its cult madness and twisted kills, buckle up, because P.T. is a whole new breed of psychological torment. It's not just about what you see, it's about what you feel. And trust me, this game leaves a mark. So in today's episode, we'll break down the genius of P.T, uncover its secrets, explore why this short-lived teaser is still hailed as one of the greatest horror experiences ever made, even though it never became the full Silent Hills we all dreamed of. The game begins with a man waking up in a dimly lit room. As he gathers his bearings, the door creaks open on its own. Hesitant but compelled, he gets up, steps out into the ominous hallway. This is Loop/Stage 1. The faint sound of the radio broadcast fills the air, delivering a chilling report.
We regret to report the murder of
saying, a brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. The day after the crime, the father retrieved a rifle from the trunk of his car and shot his wife as she was cleaning the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him as well. His 6-year-old daughter, showing remarkable instincts, hid in the bathroom, however, lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot once in the chest from point-blank range. The mother, who was shot in the stomach, was pregnant at the time. Police arriving at the scene after neighbors called 911 found the father sitting calmly in his car, listening to the radio several days before the murders. Neighbors reported hearing the father loudly repeat a sequence of numbers. They described it as though he were chanting some strange spell. There was another family shot dead in the same state last month, and in December last year, a man used a rifle and a meat cleaver to kill his entire family. In each case, the perpetrator's fathers, state police say the string of domestic homicides appears unrelated. However, they are investigating the possibility of larger trends linked to the employment issues, childcare pressures, and other social challenges facing the average family. As we enter the door at the end of the L-shaped hallway, the game transitions to stage 2. This brings us back to the start of the hallway. In this stage, the door at the end is locked, but we begin to hear loud banging on a different door behind us. As we approach, the banging abruptly stops. But this action unlocks what we'll refer to as the portal door. On the third loop, as we walk past the bathroom door, you hear a strange noise. Almost like someone moaning. Thankfully though, the door is locked. Otherwise, my curiosity would have probably got the best of me, and I'd open it and probably succumb to my death. The fourth loop feels oddly casual, almost too quiet. As we approach the portal door, it suddenly locks itself. We hear the sound of the door creaking open. It's the bathroom. When we turn to look, the bathroom is slightly ajar, with cockroaches crawling out from under the gap. Faintly, we can hear the sound of a baby crying. The portal door finally unlocks, accompanied by an eerie sound of a baby crying, echoing from the bathroom down the halls. On the fifth loop, as we walk up the hallway, a strange sound grows louder and louder with each step. When we turn the corner, we see a tall, woman-like figure standing ominously in the middle of the exit, laughing eerily. Moments later, we find ourselves entering into Loop 6. On Loop 6, the bathroom door suddenly flings open on its own. Against our better judgment, we step inside. On the floor, we see a flashlight flickering on and off, on and off. We pick it up, turn it on fully, and begin searching the bathroom. While inspecting the bathtub and the shower, we notice a hole in the wall. Turning around, we're greeted by an unsettling sight of a fetus lying in a sink. As we approach and zoom in, it starts crying. We glance at the mirror trying to see our reflection, but there's nothing. Looking back down, the fetus begins throwing a tantrum. it cries, becoming louder and more frantic. Suddenly, the bathroom door starts banging, moving ever so slightly, but it doesn't open. As we shift our gaze back to the fetus, everything goes eerily silent. We try to open the door, but it won't budge. It seems we have been locked in. Turn to the fetus one more time. We take a hesitant step towards the door, and it slowly creaks open on its own. Thankfully, there's nothing lurking on the other side. As we leave, our eyes fall on a picture of the murdered couple. On loop 7, the hallway is completely pitch black, making it impossible to see anything. Moments later, it continues in a chilling tone.
Well, now we're just getting started.
On loop 8, the hallway is dark, and a faint sound of the baby crying echoes in the distance. As we cautiously walk up to the L-shaped hallway, the crying suddenly stops. The silence is broken by the sound of glass shattering, but nothing appears to be broken. Inspecting the area, we zoom into the wall and notice the words. I can hear them calling to me from. Looking around the holes, we find nothing out of place, only an unsettling sound. Like something swinging above us, yet no matter how much we look, there's nothing there. On loop 9, we find ourselves walking through the same dark halls once again. As we turn the corner, we notice a room emitting an ominous red light. Hanging above the hallway is what appears to be a fridge, swinging slightly and dripping blood onto the floor.
After killing his family, the father hung himself with a garden hose they had in the garage.
Loop 10 feels even stranger than the last. The red light from the previous loop is now present. The sound of the fetus screaming, almost as if it's in pain, fills the air, creating the eerie atmosphere. Moving further, the fridge now swings violently, dripping blood at a faster pace, accompanied by the unsettling cries of the fetus. We zoom into the wall by the phone, realizing the letter L has been removed from hello. Continuing down the hallway, we find that L has been transferred to the wall at the exit. We repeat this process several times, each loop shifting the letters until hello completely rearranged to hell. Loop 11 is very strange. It looks the same, but there's a new sound, a buzzing or a siren type sound. Then the radio turns on out of nowhere.
Låt dina öron lyssna till radion. Hör du min röst? Kan du höra din egen själs skrik? Låt oss välja. Min röst som förtäljer framtiden eller dina plågade Nå, vad väljer du?
Eventually we reach the same hole in the wall from earlier, the same one we saw in the bathroom. Peering through, we hear the radio speaking. It's clear someone's getting brutally assassinated. And then silently, she's gone. We step back through the hole to find another door swinging open. It leads us back into the bathroom where the murders have taken place.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months back.
After the chilling moment, we drop down the pitch black hallway, feeling the impressive silence as we reach the end of loop 12. Loop 13 begins with a stark contrast, brightly lit hallways, a significant departure from the dark and oppressive atmosphere of before. However, as we move forward, the screen begins glitching, distorting our vision and making everything feel warped. Looking up, we hear a distorted voice.
204863. 2048. 2048.
It feels like the game has either glitched, crashed or restarted entirely. But we find ourselves back at the beginning, once again zooming into the paper bag that we seen last time. But this time, there's a sudden blue tinge that colors the halls, accompanied by the sound of rain in the background. In a sudden, horrifying moment, she appears. It sounds like she's absolutely devouring us. We suddenly wake up in the starting room once again. Something feels off, it's very strange. The same mysterious paper bag is still there. Surprisingly, I wonder what's inside, especially since it has blood at the bottom of the bag. We enter the holes one final time. This time, the red tinge replaces the previous blue hue, and the sound of rain from outside continues to echo. We wander aimlessly through the holes until we reach the clock. At the stroke of midnight, a bell tolls, shaking the stillness. We continue moving, only hear a faint, eerie baby's laughter. Then, the sound of the phone ringing interrupts the silence.
You've been chosen.
A door creeps open. After exiting this loop, the game fades to black.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he's just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Silent Hills P.T. stands out as one of the most iconic horror game experiences for these several key reasons. First is its unmatched atmosphere. P.T. had perfected the oppressive and immersive atmosphere with its hyper-realistic graphics, haunting sound design, and minimalistic environment. The looping hallway as well, which made it so unsettling. Every loop that you went down, it had a different sense of different horrors. So as you've seen, we had the baby, we had the lady Lisa, and the first one we had the radio about the murders. Every single time you went down them loops, something more impressive happened every time. The game design was unmatched once again, and that's just a short playable teaser, 20 to 30 minute gameplay. It had the psychological terror perfected, the unsettling psychological themes, the psychological horror, the jump scares. There wasn't too many, there wasn't too little. The jump scares were perfectly implemented in the game. The radio broadcast and the eerie whispers, even the baby having the little laughter at the end there, was just perfect. In summary though, P.T. wasn't just a game, it actually was an experience that people still want to play to this day. This Silent Hills game that never came out is going to be one of the lost games of all time. People are still wanting to play it now. If you want to buy a PS4 with it on there, it costs a lot of money. I still got it on my PS4, luckily. It captivated all genres of players because its ambiguity and attention to detail was so perfect. Even though the full game never released, P.T.'s influence on horror games will continue to be felt for years and years and years to come. That's why it cemented its place as the masterpiece of this genre. If you did enjoy this video and want to see any more videos just like that, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I stream live on Twitch every single game that I'm playing. I stream once or twice a week. Link in the description is twitch.tv/Casses. And I also go to Discord if you want to talk to me, join the community. Best way to keep up to date. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.